Yay Networks.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. A lot of hot topics to address today. Firstly, no, I'm not trying to normalize not wearing an ounce of makeup at all. I just...
you look great without a makeup. Just
I don't know anymore. You know, I like a little bit, I think, as a woman.
We all have like Pantone 5 of dark tan.
I have a spray tan and I have some lip liner on. No, we have a photo shoot today and I didn't want to put makeup on and then have to take it all off because we have someone doing our hair and makeup. But so no, I'm not normalizing the no makeup look. I'm just rolling with it today.
You look great.
I appreciate that. The second hot topic, even more of a hot topic, is that I got asked all weekend, DMs from people last weekend. Are you in Austin? I'm in Austin. Do you want to hang out? Are you at Formula One? Did you go to Formula One? Did Fran end up getting you a ticket? Are you at Formula One?
So I'm very happy you touched that subject because I was going through my archives of conversations that we have had, and I remember perfectly 4 or 5 weeks before Formula One, I remember that you bought tickets for your mom to see Queen. And I was like, hey, why don't we all go to Formula One? Queen is going to be playing on Saturday.
I remember this conversation.
And you said, you know what, like after going back and forth, like it's not going to be that enjoyable with Remy and my mom and figuring it out.
We're way beyond that.
We nixed that. And you only wanted to go Sunday, which it was tough.
You see, this is how our arguments pan out. He brings up yes, he is correct about this conversation. You are accurate. We went through a lot of stages of planning for months about how we could, as a family, do Formula One. And after I spent time looking at Airbnbs and then thinking about Remy, thinking about my mom, thinking about me going out there, we all kind of agreed it was going to be super expensive, to stay in Austin for the 4 or 5 days together. And you were the one that you were like, I'm going to be working the whole time. I'm not even going to be around. Fair. And I was like, and then we agreed that it was going to be a very last, even as the last podcast. So I don't know where you're backtracking for months. The last podcast we said...
No, because I just wanted to rain on the pity party.
We said, no, but Fran, I'm not upset. You're creating drama. I'm not upset. I was just answering the burning question.
Oh, okay.
No, I was home. I did not go to answer everyone's question. The last Fran and I spoke about it, it was going to be a very last second thing, But anyway, no, I'm not upset about it. I mean, sure, I'm disappointed. I think I'm more of a fan of Formula One than you are. I would have loved to have seen a race in person, especially considering I know other people you were with had good access and they were watching the race on Sunday. So I would have loved to go see a race like that. So no, I never heard from you. You never last second said, come on down. So I didn't.
Yeah, so we were a little more tied up than we anticipated.
Fran was drowning in work. It was a
very successful weekend. We had a really great turnout, but it was a lot of work.
And people are asking a lot of questions because Fran, Fran's not the best communicator. He's working on it. And I get on him. I think I'm the type that I'm like, can you just text me that you got home at midnight? I don't care what time it was. Can you just let me know? So when I wake up in the middle of the night, as I tend to do, I'm like, oh, is he okay? And then there's nothing from him. And then, of course, I can't sleep and I get increasingly more agitated and more upset and worried because then I'm calling him. He's not answering. I'm just like, oh, my God, he's dead. Something's wrong. And he was asleep, but hadn't let me know that he was safely tucked away. So that there was a little bit of an issue there. But after we cleared things up and he was working and he went out, you went out really only the last night. You got to see some Queen, but I guess the last night after the race, you had a team dinner because it was
Queen
a super successful thing. And I get a photo. I wake up in the middle of the night, Monday morning, I guess, right? And I just see a text on my phone from Fran, and immediately, he sends me a photo, and it's him and Daniel Ricciardo, at a restaurant. And so I posted it, because I thought it was so cool. I posted it on my story, and everyone was asking, "Oh my gosh, what's Fran doing there? How does he know him? Why don't you tell everyone about that story?"
We're fast friends.
Sure. He looks like such a nice guy too, because he smiles so big and he's always smiling and he's always laughing, but that was not the experience.
Oh, he had me next to him. How he's not gonna be smiling?
Tell everyone.
Which part? So I was walking into Sammy's, this Italian restaurant in Austin, and this kid that was helping us with the logistics in transportation. He's like, oh my God, there is Daniel Ricciardo.
You said he was sitting with another driver, but you didn't know who he was, but his name's with a V. And I'm like sitting there going, Verstappen?
It wasn't Verstappen. So he's like,
Fran wouldn't know. It's like, you're such a dad now.
I asked him, it's like, are you absolutely 100% sure that it's Daniel Ricciardo? Because if it's Daniel Ricciardo, I want a picture with that guy. And he's like, 100%. So it's like, okay, so you're going to take the picture. And he's like, no, I'm not. He's like, no, I'm not.
Oh, like, I'm not going over there with you?
I'm out.
Why?
You know, people get shy.
Shy around celebrity, yeah. I'm glad you were just like,
I
hey.
went down and just talked to him for a little bit, and we took a picture. He was fun to be around. He, of course, like, he was with a bunch of his friends. And it was just like, you know, like when you get interrupted in the middle of something.
You're a little annoyed. Yeah. So just be honest. He was annoyed with Fran. And the best part, since you're being too nice about it now, Fran tells me that he's sitting with his girlfriend, another driver, other people. That was Fran. Thank you. And he asked to take a photo, and, you know, as a celebrity would be, I suppose, a little bit put out. So maybe like not as nice as we would anticipate him being, but maybe
he was nice after all. Like he was
nice. He was just giving you shit, like a little bit like, okay, man. Fran hands the phone to the girlfriend instead of taking the selfie himself. And Daniel says something like, oh, do you want me to get you like a professional photographer or a professional camera? What did he say?
I don't remember. Like the things
that's what you told me. Yeah.
That's the highlight you took out of the whole weekend. I really remember very
because
little.
That's all anyone cares about. Is a celebrity an asshole, or are they awesome? That I don't care about anything
he's a
else,
great guy.
Right? Yeah.
He didn't do great.
He didn't do great. Yeah. But yeah, he's kind of a fan favorite. You know, he may not be winning, but he seems like he's always loads of fun. Like he's always dressing up and just like a good sport, it seems like, right? But yeah, you're right. I know he's just switching teams and whatnot, but that's cool. At least you got that.
Yeah.
And you closed or sold so far.
We
you
have
to close on a ton of condos, right?
Like almost half spoke for.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we were very successful. It was a lot of stress. It's the first time in history that something like this happens, like such a major event has an activation like ours. And we just had to patch a lot of logistical gaps that we had. But
I don't know if y'all find it interesting. These are car condos. We've talked about them a little bit. So it's a really unique project, and Fran's like the listing agent for them. And so he brought his team in, and so they were staying for, 5 days down there. And it was a lot of work because obviously a project like that, I think you really start to see like who can perform under high pressure. And I think, Fran, you're great at it because you learn that some people are like rolling up sleeves going, what the fuck do I need to do to get this done? Because obviously this isn't just like, I don't know, run of the mill kind of work, right? Like things are getting together. It was getting staged at the like twilight hour the night before. Yeah. They had all these appointments with people that were there to had a box to watch the race would come over and look. So I didn't know, honestly. I mean, I believe in you. I feel like you could sell anything. You're kind of like in like Wolf of Wall Street when he's like, sell me this pen or whatever, right? Like I feel like you are a true salesperson is really good at selling stuff. Granted, it's a cool project to sell, but I would suck. I feel like I would just suck. I'd be like, do you like it? You don't like it? Okay, I see why you don't like it. I mean, there's issues, Like I just would not be good at selling, I don't think.
So it is a learning curve, and you have to explain and understand and make people understand why they need something like this, for sure. And there's other people that have other concepts similar, like there are garages out there. There are places where you can put your cars and have a man cave, and they're really cool. But this is the only concept that is in a Formula One track that you can stay overnight, and you have amenities like a luxury condo.
Right, and then you get access to, you said there's something like 250 events a year there.
Yeah, there's... the track is used like around 250 days a year. There's events like around 30 days, 30 weekends out of the year.
Cool.
So you have amazing perks to buy it, but we had an overwhelming amount of interest. And you really see, like, my team did amazing. They performed amazing. I'm very proud of them. Like, some never done in-house sales for a developer, and it's a complete different animal.
Well, overwhelming interest, like from qualified buyers or from people that were just nosy.
Overwhelming interest from every type of buyer. So we had, of course, 70 or 80% of of the people we toured just were curious.
Yeah.
Just were curious to see, like, they were coming from different countries, they were coming from different towns, and they just wanted to see what people are getting with the car condos.
So if y'all think, did Fran have any fun and get to see any of the race? I mean, you meet Daniel Ricciardo, you're there, you're on the track, you're literally adjacent giving tours of these condos. Did you see any cars zooming by ever?
So we had a view from the track from where we were at, like far view,
Yeah.
but no, like I didn't get to see, I got to see some
You
of
worked the whole day, like
I got
didn't
to
eat
see
nonstop.
some of the main race on Sunday just because I was zooming in and out the tunnel, and you get to see the cars really close. But seeing the race and how it was developing, no, we were like swamped. Even in race time, we had people coming in at race time just because they were the only slots open to come and see the car condos.
Wow.
And then we had 4 buyers after the race. So it was a very interesting process and very stressful in many ways, but we succeed, and we are now rolling our sleeves and following up and getting more clients and getting more buyers. But it was very interesting. Any of my teammates would have traded you places if you were to wanted to be at the.
I told you I'd
race.
throw on that polo and I'd sell the shit out of some condos after I just said I probably couldn't do a good job selling them. I could. They'd be asking me price per square foot. I'd be like, ooh, I'm clearly not a seasoned realtor. Burning question. Actually, this was a comment on last week's podcast that I think is important to address also. Have you read this one?
No.
You don't really engage anything beyond sitting
No,
here
you don't
talking
send
every
them
week.
to me.
Well, you can see them. They're on YouTube public. I like to
wow.
read comments and see how people are feeling. Rocky says, I feel it's disrespectful to stay with other women in an Airbnb. I'm surprised Fran even went there being Mexican. Jenna, put your foot down and don't allow this. No matter if you trust him, temptation can change everything. You have you have a beautiful family. This was coming from a good place. So how did that go? I did not, and if you're curious, I did not put my foot down. We addressed it. I was a little, we addressed it. I think in a relationship, you have to choose your battles. I have there are more fires and battles to do. I knew some of the parties involved. Granted, I mean, I haven't met one of the women.
Yeah.
I don't feel 100% comfortable with it because I agree. I think sometimes it's just about place and time, right? I mean, you're staying in a house with other women. Sure, I could sit here all day long and go, well, 2 of them are married. One of them single. I don't know, right? I mean, I just kind of feel that Fran was there to work, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I just, after we spoke about it, I really wasn't that concerned about it. How did that go?
I really think that.
Share with everyone how sharing an Airbnb with 4 women went.
So it was very seamless because
It was an orgy and
here's what happened. They all got there before I did because I was at the track when they all arrived into Austin. So we crossed paths. That we met at the track on Thursday. Then they left around 9-10 p.m. I left the track around midnight. I came back to the track at 5.
Yeah,
so I didn't see anybody awake.
You should have just stayed at the track, yeah.
Then the next night, everybody left earlier. I left later. I came back earlier. So I never saw anyone
in the house?
awake in the house. It was just crazy. Like, I never crossed paths with anybody in the house, like, while they were awake.
Well, that's not 100% true. There was a night I heard a girl go, Fran, like, are you ready? We're going to dinner. And I was like, oh, really? I thought you were staying home and ordering food. You were going to dinner, but that was the night.
Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
That was Sunday night.
Well, I'm glad it was successful. This is something I have learned, and I think I can say this, and we all practice it, right? Like, I think relationships, like I told Fran, and I was talking about this last week, it's always a work in progress. Trust is a constant, right? Trust is not something that I feel that you just earn and keep and can do whatever because you trust each other. Trust is kind of like an ongoing conversation. And I will say that I feel that, speaking with Fran about stuff over the weekend, I think that it is just kind of an ongoing conversation, right? Like it's just kind of a, we trust. And I work on that with myself too. I also kind of tell myself what he was going into. The last couple months for Fran have been significantly stressful. And I think our bigger issue is that I feel that sometimes you let your stress, even though you don't intentionally do it and you don't recognize that you do it, you can be very like short and very put out. And you're like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not frustrated. I'm just busy. I have a lot going on, but I kind of get the brunt of the attitude because Remy gets everything good that's left sometimes. And that's more of the deeper conversation I think that Fran and I had before he went out of town. And so I realized that when your partner is going through a stressful time, or if your partner's honest with you, like I'm under a lot of stress, I'm under a lot of pressure, maybe just like not, try to not, if you're mad about something or if it's not that big of a deal, try to not. And I'm
try to not what?
Try to not
be stressed.
Pick a fight. No, try to not pick a fight over you being stressed. Yeah, I was pissed at you that you didn't check in with me. It makes me super mad because that's just something we've been through over the years. And I'm like, can you not just fucking text me? I know you're busy, but let me know you're okay. But beyond that, I knew we didn't talk a whole lot over the weekend, and it's all right because like he's there to work. And I also knew that if he was gonna have a successful weekend, things will get better if that project goes well, right? So, that's just kind of the hope that, you're still gonna be busy and going down there. But if you sell a lot of condos, then you're less stressed about everything, right? Like money and the client's, expectations and all of these things. So, my hope is that, but that's just something that I kind of work through, that I was like, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Cause yeah, momming for 5 days that was stressful too. I kind of lost my shit on Fran last night though, because I was like, he like was throwing a bunch of clothes on the bedroom floor after I'd like cleaned that bedroom so good and kept it clean when he was gone. And I was like, don't throw the diaper on the ground. Don't throw the clothes on the ground. Fucking help me. He was like, I have to work. I was like, so do I. I was like, we can stay up all night working. Help me with Remy and don't trash the fucking bedroom. The house stays clean for 2 seconds. No, it's fine. Anyway, we need to take a quick break and hear from some of the sponsors of the Fitish podcast. But coming up after the break, I have some great tips from a licensed speech therapist that wrote the show to help get your kids, your toddlers, especially talking more. So
I thought it was for me.
We're going to hear from her after the break. Y'all, there isn't a night that goes by that Fran's not eating a steak in bed. I know that sounds crazy, but we've become so obsessed with the ButcherBox subscription, and it just makes it so easy, especially for those of us that are meat eaters without having to go to the store and pick everything out and pick out cuts of meat. ButcherBox has made our lives so easy, and holiday season is here, y'all. It gets pretty stressful, especially when it comes time to cook that Thanksgiving dinner. And I didn't even realize this until recently that ButcherBox does turkeys. So you don't even have to worry about it. That last day to order the turkey, though, for Thanksgiving is November 12th. So that's coming up here really quickly. But turkey's just a non-negotiable for Thanksgiving, right? I don't know about you, but I'm the type that I actually love the turkey even more for all the leftover turkey sandwiches with mayonnaise that I'm going to make. So we are going to do the ButcherBox turkey this year. We've already decided. And of course, there's so many other meats because I know everyone's like, wait, I want some sausage or, I'm going to make my homemade gravy. I'm going to do all of this. And ButcherBox has so many great options and they deliver it. If you take care of it right now, you don't even have to worry about it. But I will be honest, we've kind of like trimmed down our Thanksgiving spread over the years, but with Remy now eating everything, I want to make sure he's exposed to like all of the great kind of sides and favorites. And so take some stress out of your life. Go ahead and get that turkey ordered for ButcherBox. Let ButcherBox take care of the stress of the holiday cooking. The holiday season is made better with ButcherBox. For a limited time, they're actually offering our listeners turkey free in your first box, plus $20 off your first order. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/Fitish and use the code Fitish to get this deal. Again, you're going to get some free turkey in your first box, plus $20 off your first order. And they do Thanksgiving turkeys, but remember, you only have until November 12th to get that order in. We do get a lot of feedback, by the way, welcome back to the show, when it comes to kind of trust and just trusting the partner. We had a pop-up this weekend, and a woman came in and she wanted very detailed advice, which I don't think I'm authorized to give on, when we kind of talked about kind of our 50-50 split of things financially and exactly how we do that, because she's expecting a baby and they kind of split things 50-50. And, all these conversations are so interesting. I wish I felt more like authorized and experienced to give y'all advice. I can kind of only tell her kind of how we do things. But I wouldn't think that's like great advice either. But a lot of people, ask a lot of questions about trust. And I think technology has brought up like a whole interesting dilemma and concept. And for me, I'm kind of more focused on finding solutions to like technology with kids. Like, what are we going to do with Remy and phones and things like that? I think it's such an interesting it's really a dilemma more than anything, but this is fascinating. And I didn't even know this. And this was just brought to my attention by our producer. But, of course, AI, it's going in this direction, chat, this sort of thing. A whole slew of AI girlfriend and boyfriend apps have come out to the market. Did you ever see the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson was the voice, and he's like in love with her, right? Do you view this as cheating if I were to have an AI boyfriend?
But you can talk to him about everything and anything?
Yeah.
Oh, well, not. I would see him as a partner. I will see him as part of our equation.
Isn't this funny? Because, right? That is so fascinating that he responds that way, because for you, cheating probably is only like sexual, right?
No, I think emotional connection is also even more important.
But if I had a deep emotional connection that I was in love with my AI boyfriend, you don't care?
No, I think I would care about different type of issues, not about your boyfriend. I think your psychological state of mind, where you are at.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Of course, sure. Like, I think there's a huge issue. Like, if you go to that extent, I certainly will know that things are not working out between us, and that you are resourcing to that, which...
But I mean, AIs are based off human. Like, I know what you're saying, that you think someone's crazy, but why...
I would not use that word. But
you said you would be worried about my emotional state, but let's break this down, because last night, for instance, you needed something drafted. I mean, especially as a non-English speaker, you use chat and AI every moment of every day of your life when you're writing stuff for work, and I know that you do. And that's great. It's a great tool, but... So why does that make you emotionally okay that you're using AI for everything?
I use AI mainly because, and I think the way that I have my AI learning is just to do grammatically correct emails. Like,
sure,
of course, English is not my first language, but
so you're saying bringing emotion into it is what makes you unstable.
Yeah, I don't tell AI, hey, thanks, I love you. Like, I use AI as I use my calculator, and I don't emotionally attach to my calculator.
And you get mad, you slam that computer, fuck you, chat. We all do it. We get mad.
When you say we all do it, you mean that you've seen me do it, or you just talking about people in general? Because I don't remember last time I say, like, fuck you, chat.
I'm sure you say it. I do.
Sure
when they give me something that's not smart enough, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. You can do better than that.
Oh, yes, I can say, I do message that. It's like, hey, give me 5 more options.
Interesting. Yeah, I need more. I need better. So funny. Well, I don't know. It's a weird time that we're in, right?
Is this a opening conversation for another conversation you want to have with me? Like, have you been dating an AI?
No, I was honest. Our producer was letting us know that on our break, and it was just kind of an interesting topic, because I do think that this is going to be the case for a lot of people. But I'll tell you what, I was having a conversation. I love when women come up here for our pop-ups. We had a great pop-up up at Fitish this weekend, and I was speaking to... I'll get in very in-depth conversations with women. It's so nice. I think sometimes we just want to talk, but it's so funny how much all of us have recently spoken about. One of the girls that was up here turned to me when we were talking about like men and just like everything, right? Like stuff around the house and kind of our, shared complaints or whatever. We were just laughing about it. We were
I bet that took time.
We were saying, see, you can say shitty stuff, but it's true. And she goes, my biggest flaw is that I like penises. And I was like, ain't that the truth sometimes? Like, if I were, I'm sure lesbians have their own issues, of course. And
I'm pretty sure they have more issues.
But I just mean, I would think role work is so well set. I don't know. If you're in a successful lesbian relationship, I would love to know, because I think a lot of us heterosexual women feel, like, man, it'd be easier, to not maybe easier in terms of society and all of these other ridiculous prejudices we all still, that you face. But in general, just kind of the balance of power in the relationship, I would think that you're like, yeah, like I got the dishes, you got the laundry, I got this. These are our roles. And like we do them. Like the house would be like clean and, like two women running the show. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to hear from you because I've never really like gotten to see the inner workings, I'm just curious.
No, baby, it's perfectly fine.
I'm just like curious about it,
No, of course.
Man, I get why sometimes, women that get real burned by men, they just like want to have a little commune where they all help each other with the kids. They just want to live on a little farm and just like, and they may not be in, sexually like homosexual relationships.
I think
with
that's
each
how
other.
Midsummer started, no?
Oh, so women just wanting to like get their shit together with their kids is a deadly cult.
Yeah, it just started like a spiral out of control.
Yeah, anything's possible. But so we, speech therapists, switching gears completely. You missed a lot of developmental Remy life, by the way, when you were gone. Fran's been trying to like soak it up. I know, 4 nights. Well, and and you've been gone, frequently for this gig. But Remy, it's just amazing. The other day, Fran gets home and he goes, "Hey, Google." Fran and I look at each other like, no fucking way. This fucker just said, "Hey, Google." You could see he looked at us. And the TV stopped and "Hey, Google" came up and was like waiting on the command. And he looks at us and you realize like he didn't know what to say next because the only thing he's seen us do a lot is like stop. We tell the timer to stop.
Halloween.
I know. I was getting there.
Oh.
I was just like playing it out how it happened. Yeah, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, he just went, he went Halloween because he didn't know what else to say. And then Google's like, "Halloween, how can I help you?" Like didn't know. So I was like, "Hey, Google, play Monster Mash," because he loves Monster Mash. So funny, but yeah, he's talking more and more every day. And I know when we talk about that, some people are like, yeah, my kid's the same age and is not saying anything. And I was like, oh gosh, I never want to make anyone feel like shit. And because I think that Remy's he walked late, right? I mean, I think every kid develops at their own rate. Fran and I talk a ton. And also maybe he's just a talker, but we had a speech therapist reach out. And in lieu of, I would really prefer to have her on, and she's going to be on, but I think that she's not going to be able to join us because she is full-time doing sessions. And so she's not going to be able to join us for a couple of weeks, but we have her on the schedule. So I would love for maybe you to think of some specific questions and we'll have her on for a segment or a show here in just a few weeks. But she did send me a list of some short form things to do if you want to work on your child's speech. Because I also asked her to send me some ideas on like what not to do. Because I find myself in moments doing things that I've now realized I shouldn't be doing with him. For instance, they say if your child is playing alone, and enjoying himself or herself, that a lot of times we can have a tendency when we want to be playing with them to be like, "What color is this dinosaur? What is this?" And holding things up. And they say don't always do that because it starts to make playtime feel like quiz time. So unless they're in the mood and they're showing you stuff, if they're just doing their own thing, don't get into kind of a question and answer session with them because it can interrupt their free play. And free play is so important, their independent play. But things to do. Let me just get into her list. And then if y'all find this, I hope you find this as interesting as I did. And remember, she is a licensed children's speech therapist. So, okay, this is coming from her. Of course, you know your child and what they need. So we often find ourselves fulfilling requests without them even having to say anything at all. Make it a habit to give them the words. Examples: milk, up, sleepy, more, open. Use simple words or short phrases. Use gestures. Be animated. Think Miss Rachel, which is so true, right? Miss Rachel does such a good job. She'll say like more, and show them without overwhelming them. Allow them time to respond or speak. If they don't, that's totally okay. Respond for them as they learn from you. Provide your child with choices, even if you know they want milk. Provide a visual of each choice and put a name with each choice. Example: want milk or want water. If they point to the milk instead of saying it, that's okay because they communicated. You can provide the word milk as you give it to them. Repetition and routine are so important. Sing the same song, read the same book every night after bath time, and over time you can begin to fade out the end of the song or book and see if your child fills in the blanks. Or every time you get in the car, say, "Let's go." Establish a repetitive routine with things you would like them to say. I've been saying "come on." I say "come on" a lot. "Come on, come on, come on, come on" when I want Remy to get in the car. So he looks at me yesterday and he goes, "Come on." So it's true because I repeat myself so often. And I think that's what I think this is something that we unintentionally do.
It reminds me to that book that we read every night, Niños.
Niños.
And he's like,
and now he says Niños.
And he sings the song.
Tempt them to communicate by putting things they like in sight but out of reach, or give them something you know they don't want. That's interesting, right? To tempt them to communicate that they don't want it. It helps to be on your child's level and to ensure they can see your mouth as you provide appropriate models. And I think that's what is so great about Miss Rachel. And I know some kids you don't like screen time or whatever. Our child has watched a lot of Miss Rachel. And I think that helps because we've noticed he'll put his little finger up to his mouth, not the Dr. Evil pinky, but his pointer finger. And when you ask him something, he'll go, and I could not for the life of me figure out where he got that. And it dawned on Fran and my mom and I that Miss Rachel does it because none of us do go, but she does that and he does that now. So those mannerisms, because they're always showing up close up her mouth, right? Be patient. It's totally okay if, they're not speaking very much. Nothing's going to happen overnight. It'll take repetition and a foundation of learning before you see results. Bonus tip for Jenna, exposing your child to 2 languages will not cause a language delay. You see a lot of mixed reports on that they're going to be a little delayed, a little slower with both languages because it's pretty overwhelming. Well, this is interesting. Things to avoid. I love learning things to avoid. Avoid speaking too fast or using too long of sentences. Avoid asking too many questions. It can be very overwhelming. Instead of "What's that?"
For Remy or for everybody?
Instead of "What's that?" "Who's that?" Name the object and person. It takes the pressure off the child and you're teaching them words at the same time. This is interesting. Don't focus too much on colors, numbers, or shapes. Focus on the words that are important for communication first. For example, eat, more, cup, open.
Halloween.
Instead of me being like, "What color is this?" And he's like, "Red." And I'm like, "It's not red. It's blue." But it's true. I think we focus a lot on like colors and numbers because you think they should be learning that. But if they're not quite even saying more and open, that those are the more important words so they can communicate with you. Minimize screen time. Tricky, I know. Realistically, though, the content and information your child is exposed to via devices is not always age appropriate, and they aren't receiving a good language model in which to accelerate their comprehension and speech. You are the best toy for your child. Every child's different. It never hurts to obtain an evaluation from a speech language pathologist, which you can obtain through a visit with your pediatrician if you are very concerned about, their development. But Heather, you rock. By the way, Heather is going to come on the show because I think there's probably so much more to ask her about and speak with her about, but I didn't want to leave y'all hanging because there was a lot of interest in this. Again, like I said, Heather is a licensed speech pathologist. I apologize if I said speech therapist, because I know you probably worked very hard for that degree in differentiation, but she can come on the show and talk more about it. And she also has this Etsy store, by the way. I'll post something on social, but she has this really cute Etsy store with little stories that you can download that you can buy. They're super cheap, but what a cool business idea that you can download that have a lot of kind of that alliteration and repetition of things that she says is really great for helping your kids learn. But yeah, we're looking forward to having her on in a few weeks. If you have any questions for her, get specific about your own kid and your own concerns. I'll ask them all on the show in a few weeks. Very cool, huh?
Yeah.
I
really
love that.
Interesting. Yeah, for sure.
I know.
I'm very excited to
because
have her
I
on.
know how I would feel. I always thought I really want Remy to talk a lot. Like I can't wait for him to talk. And so I know that I would feel annoyed by me if I wasn't me. If hearing someone talk about their kid talking and you feel that maybe your kid's not talking or where they should be. But I really, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Something fascinating too, is they said, especially these pandemic babies that were born, in 2020 and 2021 specifically, that I have heard it was very common for them to be super delayed with speaking because they were home so much. They were more isolated. They weren't around as many adults. They weren't around as many people. I think you have to consider too as parents, like, are you a talker?
It's just about brain development. A brain is it's something so unique to everybody. Like the story says that Einstein didn't talk till he was 4. So
But he was probably taking so much in. Isn't that interesting? You know,
Yeah.
I've had friends tell me that had kids before us that they would have, especially boys and girls and how different they are, that their kid, you know, especially boys, right? Because boys kind of get the rap for developing much later than girls in every way, walking, potty training, talking. And, you know, Remy didn't really walk till 15 months, but I had a friend tell me that her son didn't walk till he was 18 months old. She's like, we didn't know if he was ever going to walk. He was just happy being carried around. He didn't walk till he was 18 months old, and he hardly talked until he was like almost 3, and they were worried about him. And then she said that it was out of nowhere. It was just like tons of words. So I think sometimes they're just kind of watching, soaking, taking it
yeah,
all
but
in.
that's where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should worry. I think you should just be aware of signs of anything, but don't over stress. I think we like, as humans in general, we like to put labels on anything. Like, oh my God, he has certain tendencies. He's bipolar. He has
He's
certain
autistic.
tendencies. He's autistic. Like, stop putting labels on things. People change. People are learning in a different way, in a different pace. It's just a matter of accepting and just be aware for sure, but don't jump into conclusions just in the early stages of your child. No?
Yeah. Fran took Remy to the doctor the other day. So Remy and I have had a wonderful stomach virus for about 5 days. And I thought we just ate something bad on Friday night because I woke up like in the middle of the night super sick. And then when Remy woke up that morning, I mean, I went into his bedroom and was like, oh God, like poor thing, you know? So he had diarrhea for like 5 days, and I was kind of okay. Like I was sick, but you know, I'm also a grown adult. So like I probably tolerated the virus better than him. But if I felt really sick, I'm like, poor kid. So after 4 days of it, you know, I thought, and he was hardly eating, he kind of stopped drinking water. And of course, you know, you get Fran and my mom together in the same room, and it's like, he needs to go to the doctor. He needs to go to the doctor. And I was like, he doesn't have a fever. He's drinking water. He's probably okay. But by Tuesday, we were like, okay, let's, you know, you have like 4 diarrhea diapers before noon, and you're like, I think he's not okay. But it's so crazy.
And
isn't it? 'Cause
dehydration is something that happens in a
and we
flash.
don't want to deal with like the ER and an IV and all of that. And so Fran took him to the doctor. He got him like a last second appointment. I was in the middle of some work, so I didn't even go with you. And I get a phone call like an hour later after the appointment. So I figured it was over, and the doctor's on speakerphone and they're talking about something totally unrelated to the diarrhea. Cause I love when Fran gets to the doctor, he finds that you use the time to ask every question.
100%.
He's like, look at this toenail. Are there any concerns? Like he has a couple fingernails that are all ridged.
Well,
And he's
we're
like-
there.
So Fran goes on and on and on. And I tell Fran when I go with him, these appointments are so long. Is this every pediatrician? Like you wait forever. Sick visits are usually better. They get you in. But the annual, it's like, oh my God, we've been here for 2.5 hours. And so I know that makes me sound terrible, but like, come on, right? Like you wait forever for the doctor to come in. And so I'm like, Fran, write your questions down on your phone. I ask him to read them to me before we go in. And then Fran will just be like, look at this white spot. Like he'll just come out with so many comments and concerns of things going on. So the doctor was asking me questions about, I don't even know
That's
what.
one of the few times where time is not a concern for me.
I know, but it's so funny that it's like, that's probably why the doctor's late for everything else. The parents that are like, can you look at this small white dot on his butt crack and let me know, like, if you think everything's okay here.
100%.
But of course, what's more annoying, it's just a virus. He's fine. No medicine, no nothing.
Probiotics.
Probiotics. He proceeds to have diarrhea for like another day. And we're like, yeah, so like nothing. But I guess, I can drink half a bottle of Pepto, but little kids can't. So.
No, and you don't want to give them Pepto because you want them to take it, whatever it's causing the issue, to go out. But yeah, he started taking probiotics yesterday, and he stopped like having diarrhea. Maybe he run its course. He woke up with a little soft stool this morning, but it was the first in 24 hours.
Soft stool. Is this what y'all were hoping to listen to today? And we talk about Ritual, who's a sponsor of the show, and their probiotics, and, you have to have different ones for kids that are super young, but isn't it so interesting? I mean, when we were growing up, probiotic wasn't even like a term that we really knew about as kids.
So we used to take a probiotic, and I don't remember the exact name, but it was something that it wasn't as sophisticated. It was just a white pill that you chew.
Well, I never heard of it until I was in my 30s, like in my entire life.
So I think it was just because the type of country we were brought to, because we have a lot of parasites, like we were.
yeah.
So if you start getting sick or something, it was usually like once a year or something like that. You take
A worm killer.
something that kills parasites, and it not only kills parasites, it kills everything else in your
Good.
flora.
Yeah.
So you take probiotics when you were a kid to restore that flora. Also, we were addicted to Yakult. Yakult is this little
The little
thing.
yogurt things.
The little, it's like a yogurt, like super liquidy, but it tastes so good.
But this is what's interesting about a kid that doesn't eat real yogurt and dairy. And I thought a lot of the non-dairy stuff was fortified with these bacteria that they're supposed to have. And that would make a whole lot of sense for myself as well, and why a probiotic's so great, because I don't eat dairy. I mean, sure, I eat a piece of pizza every now and then. I eat cheese, but I don't eat.
Yeah, no, his milk has probiotics, the pea milk. And actually, you should not, if you have diarrhea, the first thing that goes through your body and gets wiped is that enzyme that helps you break lactose. So even lactose is not advised when you're sick.
Right.
But that probiotic just helps. So that Yakult thing, it's full of probiotics. So they say. So we used to drink that like 5 a day.
Good to know. Yeah. Probiotics.
Yeah.
Probiotics for the babies.
Yeah. So he's taking like a 500 billion count probiotic right now that has to be refrigerated. And
but it wasn't prescription, right?
well, yeah.
Over the counter that she recommended. Cool.
Well, they have it in the back because it has to be refrigerated. I don't know if you need a prescription, but yeah, it was he seems to be doing already better.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's so interesting and difficult when you have a sick kid, because like we know as adults, when you're super sick, like, yeah, let's hydrate, drink water. So we bought, when you were gone, I got Pedialyte, I got Gatorade to do kind of like a super diluted, version. You're not really supposed to give them the full kind. So you mix it, and like, who doesn't love a swig of Pedialyte? I mean, think about like college hangovers. It's so sweet, and we don't give Remy much juice, and he knows about juice. And so he's like, juice, and like more juice. So I'm like, he's going to love this Pedialyte. Didn't want it. And I was like, man, we're in trouble. He'll drink lime sparkling water.
Yeah, we were trying to force fit him anything that was liquid.
Yeah, but like when you were gone, we had some moments where he wouldn't eat anything at all. So, the doctor said you can give him more milk when they're sick if they're really not having any kind of food or water, or like rice and banana. And so, yeah, it's like, what do you do when your kid doesn't want anything? You can't force stuff down. So
I'm going to make him that rice with banana, like a rice pudding with banana.
You do that. That sounds like a good thing for you to do this weekend with our Halloween block party this weekend coming up.
Yeah, but still, it's Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with all of your free time that you have to make so much food and do so much around the house.
I forced myself to have like almost a free day on Tuesday because I needed to recharge my Remy batteries.
Yeah, you stayed home with Remy most of the day.
I stayed home and we cuddle and we played and we watched some movie and we just enjoyed our company. I was his toy.
We're doing Remy's Halloween photo shoot today. And so I'll post that. Actually, I kind of want to turn it around and post it like tomorrow or the next day. So hopefully as you're listening to this, you get like almost an immediate gratification of the Halloween costume. But yeah, I have quite the undertaking because I don't know what I was thinking, by the way, before we let you go today. Like, I want to be, I get it now. Like, moms, like, you get so stressed out around the holiday, and this is kind of just my first time doing this. So I got to figure something out, because I had heard that our neighborhood had a block party for years before we moved in. And then we moved in right around this time last year.
And you said,
hold my beer. Block party. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, y'all have a block party in the cul-de-sac every year? What? Let's bring it back. And what the fuck was I thinking? Like, now I'm like, then I invite some friends over too. I got the taco truck. One of my neighbors who's so nice, I really like her, but she's so concerned about the rain. And I'm just like, girl, like, we can't do anything about the rain. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to eat the taco truck. Or I've already decided, like, I'll send it to an area where people are starving and let them hand out the tacos if it's a rain out. Like, I got a plan.
That taco truck is going to do that. Just go under the breaches, throw tacos.
Well, we'd have to escort them. And so, why are you fucking raining on my charitable fucking idea? What do you mean? How about, wow, Jenna, I had a child with someone who's so fucking thoughtful and nice that is your plan B.
We'll take the tacos to the people. The taco
Instead,
truck
you're cynical
is not
as
gonna.
shit. Talk to fucking Taco Mexico Lindo taco truck and you call them and you let them know what you want done.
Trash. And we need to do it ourselves.
So annoying. No, you can't do it because there's queso and guac and rice and beans on the side.
Oh. And
You're already driving me crazy and we're not even at the block party yet. So, friend, there's a lot that needs to go on. I'm like I got to touch up my walls. Remy's hands are like all over my white walls. And I'm like, I can't have friends over and my walls look like this. Like my house is going to smell like dog pee. Oh, I'm just now thinking, what did I get myself into? Like having people over. I'm so jealous of those of you and I don't want to say jealous. That's so negative, but I'm just like so envious of people that just love to entertain and you never feel stressed about it. I'm just like, I see a junk drawer in our bar and I'm like, ew. I opened it up the other day and I'm like, what the fuck is all of this shit in the bar? And people are going to be in the bar pouring drinks. And I'm like, my mom's like, no one's going to open this drawer. I'm like, people are going to open this drawer. They're going to be looking for a bottle opener and a wine opener and they're going to get there and it's just like nails. It's just nails.
Which nails? Like the nails where you hang stuff or your nails that you like let
nails.
That's where you cut. That's where you trim your nails.
But it's just like it's
I am like the other opposite. Like I can entertain if the house is in a like if I invite my friends.
We know. Every woman listening knows that y'all don't care if people come over because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you to put that one rug under the couch, that the rug is just laying out in the living room. I'm going to say, Fran, I've asked you for days, like Friday night, I want you to put this rug. We know. And you know what men do? You're going to be like cleaning the grill. Like on Saturday morning when we don't even need the grill. You know that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to tinker around with something in the house that is totally irrelevant to the party. And, you know, that's what the joke is. Have you not seen this on TikTok? That it's like, we're having a birthday party today. And I ask him to like help me with like clean up the laundry room. And he's like outside in the lawn doing something to the fence. And it's like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, I get that you aren't stressed when the house is a mess. And that's great for you.
I'm not stressed when I'm the most lax OCD person, but the thing that I want to say is because I'm OCD in my core, but I don't fulfill so I go crazy when there is a mess. So I've learned.
Your friend's like, I can't find anything, and I'm just like,
I've learned to overcome my OCD-isness, but the thing is that when I invite people over. Of course, the house is not a mess, but I'm more concerned about people having fun and enjoy. And
no, you are no one's taking that away from you. I want to say, I know you're not. The house isn't a mess because I will spend all day Friday and Saturday morning fucking cleaning it, and after we paid a maid 6 days prior to come clean it, but then it's a mess again. So no, I will clean the entire house and paint all the walls and do all of this stuff. So that's great, and you are the. Hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm not here to clean before or after, but I'm going to make sure everyone has fun. No, that's your role. You're great.
Yeah.
Think about how I felt for your surprise party. You had no idea. Huh?
It's the high level stuff that I do.
The high level stuff. Yeah, the high level stuff. What happened to what we just talked about in the first part of the show? Like rolling your sleeves up, getting dirty, all hands on deck for the project.
That was the high level stuff I was doing down there.
Sounds good. All right. Well, we'll let you know how our Halloween weekend goes. I hope everyone has a good Halloween weekend. Please, please, please send me all your costumes of your kids because I just eat it up. I love it. I love seeing all your costumes. I need to post my Halloween inspo. I still need to make his second costume. I was sewing last night, by the way. Poorly sewing, but sewing his costume for today.
I cannot wait to see that. Like, with a needle?
Yes, with a needle. What else would I be sewing with?
I don't know. I want to learn what you calling sewing, you know? I don't know if you were gluing stuff together.
Well, maybe if you take the time to watch my TikToks and Reels, you'll find out.
It's on my to-dos.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, thanks for joining us this week, y'all.
Thank you.
Make sure to send me your photos, send me any questions you have for the speech pathologist coming up in a few weeks so I can get that prepped. And we'll see you next week. Bye.